Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I pick 5 players that I think will score 4 points or more in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. Before making predictions for Game Week 30, let's quickly see how my choices from Game Week 29 performed. So, 2 out of 5 correct predictions last week, with Shane Duffy getting a clean sheet plus 3 bonus points, and my differential Gonzalo Higuain also did the business. Unfortunately though, Rashford was denied an assist thanks to Paul Pogba's late penalty miss, and somehow Raheem Sterling also managed to blank, despite Man City having 23 attempts at goal against Bournemouth. So let's move on to Game Week 30's picks now, and see if I can do a bit better for this weekend's fixtures. And as always, if you enjoy the Point Predictor series, be sure to drop a like and most importantly, get subscribed to FPL TV. My defensive pick this week goes to Trent Alexander-Arnold. The Liverpool defence has been reliable and rock solid for the majority of the season, and with Robertson and Van Dijk also offering attacking threat, any 3 of these defenders could have been my choice this week, as they host Burnley in Game Week 30. Since returning from injury and starting both games in the last 2 game weeks, no defender has created more chances in that time than Alexander-Arnold, with him creating 7. He's also ranked number 1 amongst defenders for crosses over those 2 games, and in his last home appearance he bagged a hat-trick of assists, where his pinpoint crossing played a part in all 3. On the defensive side of things, Liverpool boast an excellent record at home, playing 14 games, conceding only 7 goals and keeping an impressive 9 clean sheets. For the budget midfielder, below the price of 8 million, there was a lot of tempting options here this week. Leicester's Maddison and Tielemans were strong considerations, as was Anthony Martial, who's rumoured to be fit to face Arsenal. However, with West Ham facing Cardiff this week, I felt I had to include one of their players somewhere in the Point Predictor, so I've taken a punt on Manuel Lanzini. The big incentive in selecting a West Ham player this week was Cardiff losing key defender Sol Bamba, who is now set to miss the remainder of the season through injury. Even when he was fit, they still managed to slump to a 3rd consecutive defeat last weekend, conceding 10 goals in those 3. And their last 2 home games include a 3-0 defeat to Everton and a 5-1 defeat to Watford, so things aren't looking good for the Bluebirds in this one. Lanzini only returned to the side last week, so there's no stats to go off on this one, but I was impressed with his performance, and I've chosen him instead of Antonio due to the latter being benched last time out. For my any-priced midfielder, I'm going to stick with my choice from last week and give Raheem Sterling another chance to make amends. As mentioned earlier, Game Week 29 saw Man City take a whopping 23 goal attempts against Bournemouth and only managed to bag the 1 goal. So if I did own City players for that one, I'd have to consider myself very unlucky not to get more returns there. In that game, Sterling still managed to take the 2nd most penalty area touches of all midfielders within Game Week 29, behind only teammate David Silva. So at least he was getting into all the right areas, even if he did return just the underwhelming 3 points. City face an in-form Watford in Game Week 30, by no means an easy game. But I think with the Hornets having shipped 5 goals away to Liverpool in their last road trip, that definitely gives us more optimism that playing at the Etihad could be a level too high for them, especially with Man City winning 14 of their 15 home games so far. My budget forward pick this week goes to Wilfried Zaha. With all this focus on teams who avoid the blank Game Week 31 soon, like Bournemouth, West Ham and Leicester options for example, this may have let players from teams who do blank in 31 slip under the radar for some of us. And I think Palace striker Zaha comes into that category this week. With an impressive 32 points over the last 4 game weeks, Zaha comes into Game Week 30 as the most in-form forward, producing even more points than Aguero over that spell. His underlying stats further support this current purple patch, because over these 4 game weeks, no striker has had more penalty area touches than Zaha on 31. He's also produced 11 goal attempts in that time, with all of these efforts coming inside the box. Decent numbers. His opponents Brighton are a significantly different outfit on the road, because despite their impressive defensive record at home, it's quite different away, with the Seagulls conceding 13 goals in just their last 6 away trips and keeping 0 clean sheets. In fact, they've only kept 1 clean sheet on the road all season, level with Fulham. For my any priced forward this week, I've selected Jamie Vardy. Things didn't quite go to plan in Brendan Rodgers' first game in charge, with Leicester losing 2-1 in Gameweek 29, so not quite the reaction some were expecting perhaps. This change in manager has seemed to spark a reaction from Vardy in particular though, with him scoring in both games since Claude Puel was sacked. That's now 3 goals in 4 games for the Englishman and 10 Premier League goals for the season. Not bad for someone who, in FPL terms, was a bit of a forgotten man a few weeks back. With Leicester's good fixtures and Vardy's good form, it's definitely sprung the striker back onto our radars, especially with this tantalising home fixture against Fulham coming up next. This will be Rodgers' first home game in charge of the Foxes, so you'd expect a good reception there, and as it's been for most of the season, it's very nice owning players in FPL who face Fulham, with them by far having the worst offensive record. And that wraps up Game Week 30's Point Predictor. Let me know what you make of the choices, and be sure to post your own 5 picks in the comments below. Good luck to all of you watching for Game Week 30, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all next week. Hey guys, if you're a fan of the FPL TV channel, then please consider voting for FPL TV for the award of Best Fantasy Football Creator at this year's Football Blogging Awards. If you are interested in voting, I'll put all the information required to vote in the description and comment section below, and every vote from you guys will be massively appreciated. Thanks for your time and catch you all soon.